Welcome back. This is Northstar with another episode of Popup Dungeon. Now, I'm going to do another run home campaign. You'll see it from the start. With game modes on, I'm going to do some zany stuff. I've never tried the game modes before, just see what happens. But I wanted to play around with the editor here a little, show you guys a core component of this game is creating new content. Sometimes that's as simple as what I'm going to do. And that is to create a new version of existing equipment. Now, I believe the mace itself might already be a custom version of the vanilla. Nope. This is a standard item. The Holy Mace. So I do not want to overwrite the standard. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up with a new name for it. This is called the Holy Mace. How about the Blessed Mace? Nah. I don't even like the image. This is a weird... A mace isn't a cross, and I don't like the religious connotations. It's alienating to those who aren't Christian. I am Christian, but that's what a real mace looks like. Something like this. This. I have an idea. The Star Mace. Entirely unique name. Won't be overwriting anything. At the Divine level, Cosmic Mace. At the Common level, Dull Mace. That way this works. So, if you get a dull doesn't really fit, but an ordinary mace, right? Twinkling mace. Shining mace. This is a way both to tell at a glance what you got and give a little more character to items. This kind of stuff does not hurt, to say the least. Now, the reason I want to create this is, and I'm going to save this as new. So far, it's just a redone, slightly different appearing mace. However, I'm going to change the ability that's associated with it. Now, I never liked about Bless is it only lasts one turn. I don't like buffs that only last turn. It makes me feel pressured to use them immediately. It makes it harder to ramp up power if I'm preparing for a fight, maybe deploying far back, or if I retreated because I was getting overwhelmed. I'm trying to buff up before taking on enemies. I gain a lot more utility out of something that lasts longer. So I'm going to go over to the logic here of the ability, right? Crit chance, aim. Sure, but duration 1 turn? No, I'm going to make it last 2. You'll notice the longer it lasts, the weaker the effect. I'll make it 3. Aim. Same thing. You can stack these buffs, however, it means you have to think a little further ahead. I also like to give a little more weight to aim. A lot of times I'm using this against an enemy with really high cover. Let's say 70% weight, right? Now to get the strength up a little bit, one thing I can do is add a damage self to it. The character takes, and this caps out at 1 for weight. If the character takes a little damage from using the ability, it'll be stronger. That has its utility. Yeah, so do damage over time. It'll take more damage, but it can be used to pay a prolonged cost for an upfront benefit. That's more useful if, say, the damage is over more time. And you use a short acting ability. This is the opposite. I'm maybe going to want to be doing some damage to the shields that I'm either getting from my ship upgrades or from charms. In this campaign, I don't actually need the charms to have all my characters walking around with shields. Just an upgrade to the ship once I get my ship. But I am starting with the absorb charm. But so perhaps before I even get in the fight proper, I'm wearing down my shields. They regenerate every turn to buff up a little. However, I don't have to have just one native self ability. I could do something else like a statistic action, for instance. Add a debuff. Maybe power's not the best thing, but maybe good one for a support character might be the taunt, since the supports are rarely attacking anything. Now that's a massive decrease, but maybe for 3 damage, 100 lower detaunt defense, for instance. That's just one example of something I could do. Or maybe I don't want to do detaunt. Maybe, power of a category that she doesn't even use. Say water power. Of course, it'd be a massive debuff. Those are just some examples. I think I'll stick with the slight hit the detaunt defense if I wanted to do that, but actually I'm not going to do that anyways. See, I think this ability might go well. Small buff to speed over time to help repay some of the cost. Now this character is so slow. And at this strength, it won't even be a single speed. However, as she levels up, she'll get more powerful, and this effect will become more noticeable. Let's put it here at 0.4. That's almost 1 speed with rounding that often be. Speed. Yeah. Really needs to be over a short time, since action points are stored. There we go. Some of the time that will add up to an extra action point income, even in the beginning. This will become more powerful later on, though. It's a small thing. The big thing I really wanted was a longer lasting version of this buff. Maybe a bit more emphasis on aim, especially now that I've weakened it by adding a third buff. Oh, oops. You can raise them both above max just to get the precise balance you want. I want to get 84% aim, and that's a number that I don't know. I just figured it'd be a good place to settle on. Got the speed down to 0.7. It's a nice low number. There's no point with overkill speed. You can only have up to 20, and you can only have up to 20 AP stored. But here we go. Here we're starting to get somewhere. And these are longer lasting buffs, so I can stack them and have enough aim to get through really high enemy defenses. However, that's a little lower than I like for crit chance. You know, I'll do that. Really de-emphasizing the speed boost. But here we go. However, it doesn't have to cost 2. I can make it cost 3. Adding 1 to the cost. And with the speed buff, you'll notice I'm actually getting back 60% of that, so it's really adding 0.4. So if the character gets higher speed through some training or such, because action points not used are wasted, you know. Of course, at this point, this is too much of an emphasis on aim. I like this. Spend a little more, get more crit chance. It's a more useful ability, of course. It's also a more expensive ability. Other things you can do to make an ability more powerful without making it more expensive are to make them limited use, like so. Give them a charge time, or to give them a cooldown. Say do this. And notice it gets more powerful. Now haste can help a character get around cooldown over time. It requires you to be a more selective ability. It also gets around the feeling of you're just spamming ability over and over and over. So I feel like it's sometimes a little bit more, how would I call it, fun to work with. Yeah, I don't know, it just feels better, even though by all means this is probably a less useful ability. But with the higher cost, I may not be using it as often either. Once again, it's gotten to be too much of an emphasis on aim. One thing I can do is, because of the longer cooldown, make this longer lasting. I may be waiting longer to use it, but if I play more defensively, often though, fights don't go long enough for 3 turns of anything to be that useful. I'm gonna up these both to take a little more emphasis off the speed. Still not enough, so there. Here we go. More powerful than ever. Needs a new name though, because it's not the same as the previous ability. Hallow. Instead of bless, hallow. To hallow something has a similar meaning. Or better name, sanctify. Bless, sanctify. Here we go. You'll notice it's less effective when it's wielded by character who doesn't have the right skills for it. And this is what it will actually look like in campaign. This is, once again, actually a little too much of an emphasis on aim, so there we go. Now if I go back to the equipment, I'm seeing what this will look like right after that. keeps trying to use Brock, a fighter, as if he would be an effective character to build this. He would not. It's still equipped with Bless. Give it Sanctify instead. Except she starts off with only epic rank equipment. Here we go. Notice she only has 6 speed of turn at the beginning, so that speed's actually really going to come in hand. I'm going to save it so that it is saved in as having the Sanctify ability with it. However, looking at this, well, it's not perfect. I probably could have made it better. Maybe I should make it last longer or change the balance abilities, but I would say this is substantially better. This. Right? That. That. More useful. Does a little damage to self on use, but yeah. I could also have it do other things. For instance, this comes with debuff to focus that makes it more powerful. You could have it come with a power boost across the board. Sure. Or have it emphasize light power even more than before. Or support more than before. Where is it? Oh, that's already a preferred stat. Doesn't seem to affect anything. What's to know is this is how effective it is before. 220.79. 242.85. It's actually more effective with the support. However, often when abilities are used on self, the support doesn't apply. So if I ever wanted to self-buff, I'd want to focus more on the light power. I think this is fine. I just wanted to tweak that a little and show off a few things. Oh yeah, and restrict drops to tile sets. It's not currently restricted to anything. I could restrict it to the dungeon, for instance. Change its rarity of drop. Perhaps I make it very rare. Anyways, that's enough for now for the mace. However, you'll know that Jane still is equipped with the Holy Mace. I want to give her the Cosmic Mace for my Star campaign. She is as you'll know, where is it? Advanced. Build of Claire the Cleric. Even notes there. And that she is based on the vanilla character, Claire the Cleric. She has a number of changes. Now one of them, besides different abilities, is that she carries a Cosmic Mace instead of a Holy Mace. And voila. This is done. So I'm going to actually break the video here so that I'm going to save a separate video for the campaign itself, but I will show off quickly the mode you have to look forward to. Extra level upgraded equipment and 2 random allies, because I have no idea what it does. I don't know if there's a chance to draw it during the campaign, if it gives you an event, if the allies are just extra ones you get in the roster. I figure if I do it twice, maybe there's a bit more I'll understand about how it works. So I have no idea what the extra level does. I know it's an extra level at the end of the campaign. It even says as much. Another level to a run, or maybe it's not even at the end, but it's there. So this is what I'll be showing off in video number 3, or video number 4, my Popup Dungeon Let's Play, because I believe the last one was number 2. So look out for it. It'll be quite a bit longer. This will actually be just I'll try and label this as just a creator session, just for those of you who don't want to watch something like this. Anyways, enjoy, best luck, and I will see you all again soon.